So I bought this book. It's called Me, Myself, and Lies by Jennifer Rothschild. And I wanted to get it because I thought it was more of like a devotional book, but it's more of like a chapter book. So I'm going to start reading out of it some and doing a little series. If you like this kind of thing, you can let me know. But I feel like I know myself personally. I need to start talking to myself better and thinking of myself in a better way, because I have a tendency to always put myself down and think the worst of myself. I know that I'm probably not alone in this. I have no self-esteem. I have no confidence in myself. And so I'm trying to, new year, new start, I'm trying to start this little book, maybe to give myself and others, if you're interested, some help in the way you talk to yourself. So I'm just going to read a little bit out of it. And this may be boring to some people, but if it is, you can just scroll on. So if you want to grab this book, you can like go over it and read it with me. Ignore the lights in my glasses, sorry. But I'm going to start out with not so well with my soul. It is well with my soul. That's been my story for years. I've spoken those words again and again. I've written about them. I've even sung them. As a speaker, writer, and sometimes singer, I seem to gravitate this same theme, whether my audience is 50 business people in a hotel conference room or 5,000 women in an arena. And I really mean it is well with my soul. These lyrics from a much-loved Protestant hymn echo the theme of my life story. But here's the deal. The chorus demands that you boldly proclaim at the top of your lungs, it is well, no less than 3 times, whether you feel that way or not. I wish I could count how many times I've stood and sung those words after speaking before an audience, only to sit right back down and feel a complete lack of wellness with my soul. Have you ever felt that way? You've been at church or something and you're singing lyrics to a song and then you think, do I feel that way? I need to feel this way. You should hear some of the unkind things that I've said to myself. I do this. You should have done a better job. I do that all the time with my makeup stuff, with anything that I go about that I do. Listen to that speaker. She's so much smarter than you. I do that with every female. You can ask my husband. I drive him crazy. Face it, girl. You'll never measure up. That's me. I do that. Oh, my friend, I could go on and on. That's happened too many times to count. As a result of so many personal attacks against me. I'm always against me. It has not always been so well with my soul. I've told myself so many untruths, and I more than half believe them. I do that. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? You don't have to be on stage to point that unforgiving microscope on your life, right? And I do that like with everything about myself, with my face and my body and my hair and I nitpick and I put a microscope on every little thing about myself. And what I'm trying to do is get myself to understand and believe that I'm perfectly and wonderfully made through Jesus, by Jesus. It wasn't only when I was on stage, my steady flow of disapproving thoughts and self-talk once formed a constant stream. I badgered, nagged, devalued, and said cutting words to myself. At times, all those dark, negative put-downs felt like a raging river, dragging me down until I thought I might drown in my own self-condemnation. At other times, they have felt more like a constant drip, drip, dripping, not loud and demanding, just a steady trickle of poison, creating an acidic wash of pessimism running through my mind. The mind is its own place, John Milton wisely observed, and in itself can make heaven of hell and a hell of heaven. And I'm going to read about being never good enough, and we'll stop there today because I don't want to make these too long. And let me know if you're interested in this type of thing. If not, I am. As a child, I could not escape the idea of whatever I did just wasn't good enough. Oh, that hits home. I did that. Can you relate? I was a good girl with a huge perfectionist tendencies and painfully self-aware. That is so me. And all those you're not good enough thoughts pulled into a estuary in my mind of which the bitter waters flowed. During my teen years, I changed a lot, and so did the content of my self-talk. It got worse. That's when I actually started calling myself names when I didn't measure up or made big mistakes. Yep. At the age of 15, I became legally blind to a disease called, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this, retinus pigmentosa. I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. Even though I took that difficulty with grace and resolve, believe me, the extra challenges of the disability and the knowledge that blindness was inevitable brought even more opportunities for me to struggle with negative thoughts and destructive self-talk. You're never going to be independent. You're so awkward. People are staring at you. I do that anyway. I do that. Boys will never want to date you. I always did that when I was a teenager. On and on it went. It was all about me, myself, and lies. By the time I'd made it through the decades of my 20s and 30s, I was swimming in a toxic ocean of accumulated self-talk. All those years of faulty thinking and equally faulty self-talking had begun to show up in bouts of frustration, sometimes pushing me to the ragged edge of despair. I lacked confidence and struggled with insecurity. I wasn't unhappy or depressed all the time. I wasn't unhappy or depressed all the time or miserable most days. Absolutely not. I got married and was blossoming professionally. I became a mom and pursued life with passion, curiosity, and honesty. But an unseen undertow was trying to pull me backward, denying me the chance of really feeling free. A battle was being waged in my mind, and I never even realized its impact in time. We grow so accustomed to our own self-talk that we don't even recognize its corrosive nature to the damage that we're inflicting on our own souls. It's normal for us. Normal like cancer. The truth is, our self-talk actually begins to shape the life we live, affecting our very destiny. What you think and say to yourself will impact the music of your life. The song I mentioned earlier begins with these lyrics. When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul. Whatever your lot, do you want to be able to say it is well with your soul? I sure do. I know you do too. Yes, I do. Knowing what to say to your soul is one of the most reliable ways to make sure it remains well. Words are extremely powerful, even the ones you speak to yourself. Over the years, I have learned what to say when I talk to myself, and that has truly made all the difference in my life. After years of struggling beneath the weight of my own slander and lies, I have learned to speak truth to my soul. It's what I call soul talk. And from this page forward, that's the term I will use most often in this book. So we all could probably do better. I mean, I know some people have like confidence in their self, crazy confidence in their self, and you may not struggle with this the way I do, but I've always struggled with this, and I'm just trying to give myself a different perspective and a better perspective of how I should be and how I should talk to myself. And I hope this helps somebody, and I think it's going to help me. So let me know if you like stuff like this. And most of all, we need to take out the negative thoughts and quit putting ourselves down. And like I said earlier, remember that we are made exactly the way God wanted us to be, and we don't need to talk negative to ourselves. And let's just help each other and love each other. And you'll have a good day.